Y'all, I'm going to let you know just straight off the rip. Junji Ito is a new obsession of mine. It's not even a phase anymore. I just finished reading Tomie, or the anthology of Tomie, and I will definitely say this: I finished this. I just finished this whole thing, and I am hooked to the point where I feel as if I should take the opportunity to just nerd out on my own YouTube channel and share my love for the manga with y'all. So this is gonna be like a new video that I'm gonna be throwing at y'all. So if you guys like this and you guys want more of this kind of content, let me know in the comments. I read comments every single day. I hear about people's feedback, on YouTube and off YouTube. Let me know what you think. Right now, I do want to take the time to nerd out a little bit and even talk about the recap on the first chapter of Tomie. But before we even get into this, we need to understand who Tomie is. Tomie is a woman, if we like to call her that, who is very beautiful. She seduces people, she gets what she wants, but she has super generative powers. So whenever she gets cut or she's wounded in some way, shape, or form, she heals very quickly. And she even grows new limbs on top of that, should in case her arm gets cut off. But it's more to the extreme. It's more like a super generative power. So you could chop her up to like millions of pieces and somehow she'll turn to millions of clones of Tomie, which is pretty crazy. Plus, not to mention, the fact that she's so beautiful and people are just mesmerized by her beauty and the way she talks to them, people feel this urge to have, like, to kill her or to even follow everything that she tells them to do. There are times where there are Tomies or different clones that come across each other, they hate one another, and then both of these clones are telling the people that they associate themselves with, like, hey, I don't like that girl, you need to kill her. Like, it's absolutely fucking crazy. You guys really need to tune into this. I'm gonna tell you about the first chapter. I'm gonna break it down to you. I'm gonna show a little bit of like snippets from the manga, and you let me know what you think. So basically, this is the first chapter of the story here. We have a funeral that's going on. We have a narration from a woman by the name of Reiko. Reiko is a friend of Tomie, and she talks about Tomie and how her body was just scattered everywhere. There was a funeral that went on, and people are grieving for her loss and everything. So on the right we have Reiko, who's basically the main character of this chapter, and then on the left we have the teacher, in which we will discuss later on about. They're in class now, and the teacher's like, all right kids, it's time to move on. But then lo and behold, you have this girl that comes into the classroom like as if nothing happened, like as if everybody saw a ghost. So everyone is pretty shocked that Tomie is back in class. Tomie has super regenerative powers. So she just came back from the dead and she comes back into school like as if nothing happened. The students are shocked. The teachers are shocked. They don't understand what's going on. There's already rumors going around that she's probably like a zombie or she's under like some curse or something. But people are still more so freaked out about the fact that Tomie is back in school after they just had a funeral for her not too long ago. Later on, as rumors, start circulating, well, it's not even a rumor anymore, she's actually back, and people are wondering, like, how the hell did she survive? This makes no sense. The teacher right now that I pointed out earlier is stressed. So the teacher, comes across Tomie, and the teacher is like, hey, like, can I see you in the teacher's lounge, please? Can we talk for a moment? So he pulls her to the teacher's lounge, and, he's smoking his cigarette and everything. So you can see she immediately hugs the teacher, who goes by the name of Mr. Takagi, and she's like, oh my god, I missed you, it's been so long, la 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 la, and everything. And it's so freaking crazy because he's like, nah, get off me, I want nothing to do with you. These two were having an affair. Like, the teacher was actually taking advantage of Tomie as a freshman student, which is pretty fucked up. Later on, there's a student that goes into like one of his classrooms, and he's like, yo, guys, go to the teacher's lounge. There's something wrong with Takagi. So everyone goes to Takagi at the teacher's lounge, and he's going through a mental breakdown. So people are wondering, like, yo, what the hell is going on? Like, ever since Tomie returned to school, things started getting a little weird. So you can already see here the students are already outside the teacher's lounge. They're already like looking in to see what's going on with their teacher. And you already have the staff and faculty that's already trying to comfort him, trying to figure out what went on. But no one is aware that Tomie has anything to do with that mental breakdown. I guess the next day, there's a time skip of sort. Reiko, the protagonist, is now back in the picture. She's walking to school, I believe. And Tomie, which is her friend, they're walking together. She's talking about, you know, the teacher and saying like, yeah, you know, maybe I shouldn't have slept with the teacher and everything. It's turning into a whole mess. Are you even listening? Reiko's not even listening. She is completely shocked that her friend is actually still alive. And they're walking, you know, through a bridge. Again, Reiko is completely zoned out. Tomie is like, you're not even listening. The whole school is avoiding me. Why the hell is this even the case? And Reiko, she's having her own inner monologues. But then later on, she looks back at Tomie as Tomie is at the edge of the bridge. And she's looking out into like the river or something like that. And all of a sudden, Reiko is just panicking, saying like, wait, like, why is she looking out from the bridge? Like, that makes no sense. And she suddenly starts running away from Tomie. So as Reiko is running away from Tomie, she comes across Yamamoto. Yamamoto kind of startles her when they bump into one another. And Reiko is panicking to the point where it's like, listen, I think we need to confess and talk to the police because this is getting crazy. So Reiko kind of feels that Tomie is right now playing games with people because of her death. And to understand why Reiko is even coming to that conclusion or even has that kind of thought process, we need to talk about what happened earlier in which this manga does. It kind of brings you a few days back into the whole situation. So basically, like, the school has like a little recess going on. And, you know, the teacher, he wants to take a break. He wants to do a smoke break. Everyone's outside chilling and everything, playing some ball and everything else. So, of course, Tomie being Tomie, she doesn't fuck around with games. Her focus right now is on the teacher, Tagaki. So you can already see here, like, she meets up with him, like, in some sort of, like, cliff above where the students are just hanging out and chilling. The teacher just wanted to mind his own business. He just wanted a smoke break. He's chilling. So he's already questioning her like, hey, like, why aren't you with your friends? And of course, Tomie will address herself as a grown woman. The boyfriend, Yamamoto, would look for Tomie and notices Tomie's with the teacher. So Yamamoto will confront her. So of course, he confronts her and he pulls her away from him. And he's like, oh, what are you doing around Mr. Tagaki? Like, are you his pupil? What you doing after school and everything? Like, of course, he's suspicious of her because Tomie has been oddly very close to her own teacher. And as a boyfriend, that doesn't look good at all. Under all levels, it doesn't look good. So I can't really show you this portion of the manga only because it gets very graphic here and I don't want my channel to get flagged for some type of shit. But anyways, things get very dark from here. They get in an argument and Tomie is like, yeah, fuck you, I'm out of here. Mind you, they're on a cliff. Tomie turns around but forgets she's at the edge of a cliff and she loses balance. She falls off the cliff and she dies. She kind of plummets to her death. So everyone gathers around her and they're panicking, and Yamamoto, the boyfriend, he's panicking the most. He's like, oh my god, I killed my girlfriend, oh my god, we need to call the police. And the teacher, Takagaki, he's like, whoa, hold up, time out. Are you gonna tell on yourself? Is this what we're doing here? All of a sudden, like, a group of students and the teacher, they are convincing themselves that they did nothing wrong. And you got all the girls in the class are like, yeah, Yamamoto, you shouldn't throw away your life over her and everything. Like, we'll protect you, Like, it's absolutely crazy. There was this one girl who's out here just talking to the whole mass here like, listen guys, should we throw away our lives over Tomie? I mean, let's be honest, she only fell, that's really it, and she was causing Yamamoto a whole bunch of trouble and yada yada yada. Like, it's absolutely crazy the mental gymnastics that they're going through to even justify her death. Even one student went out of a way to call her like a stuck-up bitch. Like, it's absolutely crazy that there were people that resented Tomie and her beauty and how much of an influence that she has on people around her. Takagaki, of course, having an affair with, Tomie and capitalizing on this situation, he tells the students, all right, this is what's going to happen. I need the boys to take off their clothes. I want y'all to strip naked. We're going to cut Tomie up to pieces. Someone bring a toolkit because they had like what they call technical education of some sort. And as for the girls, I need y'all to keep a lookout and make sure no witnesses see what we're about to do here. Everyone does their thing. Reiko, mind you, she's in this whole situation and she's just shocked at what happened. And of course, she's not going to be able to go against the masses because it's just her versus everyone else. So she's on the lookout and everything, and she's just crying and everything. Meanwhile, the boys are just chopping Tomie up to pieces. Now, mind you, Tomie isn't dead. She's still alive. So when they realize as they're cutting her up and she's still alive and she's screaming, you had the teacher that, took his hand, covered her nose and her mouth, and grabbed the scissor from the toolbox and just repeatedly stab her just to finish her off. She's dead, and then the boys just start cutting her up. So then later on, there's 42 pieces of Tomie, different body parts, including her organs, and the teacher tells the students, all right, each of you guys have a body part of Tomie. You see it's all wrapped up in bags and something with a rope. It's tied to like bows and everything. And he tells them, I need y'all to hide every piece of Tomie in different places that authorities will not be able to find her body parts. And then for Reiko, they gave her a heart of Tomie, which is kind of fucked up considering Tomie was the friend of Reiko. And they give her her heart of all parts, which is pretty fucked up if you think about it. And then there was one scene where, the teacher cut off the head of Tomie, and there's a scene where you can actually see him like whispering her name and he's holding onto her head and hugging her. So you can already tell that the teacher still loved her, but he felt compelled to just cut her up into pieces despite that. And that's kind of the spell that Tomie does have on people. So now we move on with the manga. Reiko will take Tomie's heart. It's in a bag. She goes to the same bridge that she was panicking about earlier, and she will throw it right off the bridge, and it falls right into the water, and that's that. Hopefully authorities don't find the heart. So now we can fast forward to present time when, Tomie was looking out of the bridge, into the water, and Reiko was just panicking because she felt that Tomie knows about this. So Reiko runs to the school and she come across, Yamamoto, and they say hey, we need to go to the police. Yamamoto says, fuck that. We need to figure something out. Follow me. So Yamamoto is running. Reiko's not understanding why he's running, and they stop, at a particular alleyway. They hide, and they hear someone having a conversation about Yamamoto and Reiko, saying hey, they're on the loose. I heard they're running together. They got something to do with one another. So Yamamoto and Reiko will run. They'll try to hide somewhere because they need to talk somewhere safe. But there are people coming after them. So now you have people that are just out for blood, and they're out to get these students, which is absolutely crazy. It escalates from 0 to 100 very quickly. It doesn't look good for Yamamoto and Reiko. I think it's because they feel as if they're going to run to the police and they can't afford that. So now you have a whole bunch of kids that are just out here just trying to kill them before they even do anything. Because you even see in the manga or in the scene here, one of the guys with the blade says, I don't remember this being part of the plan here, which kind of implies that you guys were about to, do us dirty. You guys about to throw us under the bus. Reiko and Yamamoto are going to run for their lives. But Reiko is already tired and she's exhausted. She was already running earlier from the bridge, so she's already exhausted from running away already. So she falls, she tells Yamamoto she can't keep up. She falls first, and then Yamamoto trips over her as she falls. They both fall, and now, they're about to get attacked. And then suddenly, lo and behold, you have Tomie that appears, and she's asking him, hey, what are y'all doing? What's going on here? And now all of a sudden, the crowd just, confused. They're what the hell? What is she doing here? And then everyone just disperses. Everyone just dispersed. And then you have Reiko and Yamamoto, mind you, they're on the floor and they're looking up at Tomie. And Reiko is like, Tomie, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. And then Tomie is looking down at them and she's like, sorry. I noticed you and Yamamoto are oddly close, implying that Yamamoto is cheating on Tomie for her friend Reiko. And Reiko's like, no, it's not that. I swear it's not that. So Reiko leaves. She books for it and leaves Yamamoto there. Just leaves him there. So then people arrive after the whole situation, and it's been told that Yamamoto kind of just broke down. They just found him broke down in an alleyway. No one knows what Tomie did to Yamamoto, but his breakdown was kind of similar to Mr. Tagaki when he broke down at the teacher's lounge. So something definitely must have happened there. Now, we reached about the end of the chapter 1. I think 3, according to the manga, for the convenience of it all, 3 days later, she moves to a new part of town. She's taking things easy. She kind of saw the whole situation as a mass delusion. Maybe Tomie isn't really a ghost. Maybe it was all just a whole fluke. You know how the human mind just kind of copes with everything and is trying to put its own pieces together just for the sake of your own sanity. That's kind of what Reiko is doing right now. So she's at the beach. She's taking life easy now after the whole situation. She comes across the piece of paper and the rope. The familiar packaging that was used for Tomie's heart. She's looking around and she's like, she doesn't see any contents from the package, so it has to be somewhere. Reiko's looking around and she spots a nearby cave. Reiko takes it upon herself to go to that cave and she looks in, only to see Tomie on this thing. I don't know what it looks like, but it seems that she's hanging on something, and you can see that whatever part of her body was in the water, which is most likely her heart got caught onto something, and her heart started to regenerate the flesh of Tomie. So this right here is very scary, only because the fact that the teacher told everyone to take 42 parts of Tomie and spread it across town so that authorities can't find the parts of Tomie implies that there are probably 42 Tomies out there. And mind you, it doesn't matter what part of the body it is. It could be her foot, it could be her heart, it could be an organ, it could even be her hair. It doesn't matter. If it exists, it will regenerate. And it will, in the next few days, it will come up to a fully developed Tomie, and that is a pretty scary thing to think about. So that's basically all I have for y'all. I was hooked on this. This is just the first chapter, and I'm willing to cover more chapters for y'all because these stories, this anthology is absolutely insane. And I promise y'all, just looking into this story of Tomie, or at least the anthology, this chapter just only scrapes the surface. Like, there is much more fucked up things, and of course I'm not going to show it, but I will talk about it, and I will let y'all in on the whole situation with Tomie, because I'm going to let you know right now, this is crazy. This is an absolutely crazy anthology. I would strongly recommend anybody reading it if you're a big fan of horror. Like, you got to give Junji Ito his flowers, at the very least, if you're a huge fan of horror. If you're not a fan of anime, or manga, or either or, but you love horror, I would also definitely recommend this book, only because I love horror, but I never really, I don't know, how do I say this? Anime and horror didn't really go well for me. I can watch horror, no problem, but then when anime gets into it, I'm like, eh. But then when Junji Ito came into my life and I saw his work, I was like, oh my god. Oh, this is amazing. Hello? Oh, this is grotesque. Oh, that is disgusting. Give me 5 more of these. I want the whole collection. But other than that, y'all, that's really all I have. I will cover the second chapter. If you want me to, let me know what you think. And until then, I'll see you guys next time, because this shit is absolutely insane. Peace.